So before we get into the effects and causes of impulse control disorder, I just want to make it clear that addicts and alcoholics can be diagnosed with so many disorders. And in my almost 20 years of doing this, almost all of them can and will subside if they address the traumas and the behaviors and the perception through evidence-based treatment such as cognitive behavioral therapy and 12-step facilitation, and sometimes even medically assisted treatment. So I've never met an addict or an alcoholic who couldn't have been textbook oppositional defiant disorder or antisocial personality disorder. As a matter of fact, ASPD, other than the animal cruelty, I don't think you'd ever find anybody that didn't check every box. And with impulse control disorder, basically doing something that's harmful in spite of the consequences, or not being able to say no or avoiding those consequences, is the history and the story of an alcoholic and a drug addict's life. Do they really have the disorder? Or is it just literally the drive for one more hit, one more shoot, one more sniff or snort, or one more drink? So that's something where with a dual diagnosis treatment center, the professionals there will be more equipped to make that diagnosis than you and or your loved one. Because one thing I've learned about addicts and alcoholics is that once they start using, they cannot stop. And unless they're in recovery, they cannot stop themselves from starting. So with an impulse control disorder, you would think like, they're all in on something and they just can't avoid driving home drunk, or they just can't avoid going into high-risk situations, or they just can't keep themselves from doing something foolish. It's an easy label to put the impulsive control disorder on them, but is it the addiction or is it truly mental health? Because I've met people who have every symptom of impulse control disorder who are substance users who don't even have the disorder 6 months into recovery. And I've met people who have impulse control disorder who've never used drugs or alcohol in my life, and it's a completely different ballgame. So when it comes to impulsive control disorder, just like with antisocial personality disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, or any other disorder that the DSM can throw at you that an addict or an alcoholic would check the box on, we have to remember that when drugs or alcohol use is present at any level, the clinician has to assume that the behaviors are caused by the substances until proven otherwise.